Hey guys, welcome to Stat24. My name is Gyven and I'm a tipster at Stat24. Before we start the prediction video, I'm just going to want to show you our stats since we started. We have nearly predicted 1,700 predictions and we have a yield of 8%. So it means for every 100 you put on your own amount, that means that you will get 8 of your own money returned out of 1,700. So it's actually very good numbers. And you also, if you can compare our predictions to similar websites, they used to charge you money for similar services. But as I always say, that you always have to bet on single bets, never doubles or triples, because every time you put an extra match into your coupon, that means the probability for winning your coupon will always be lower for every extra game you put on your coupon or your betting slip. So always bet on single bets, and always remember that betting is not a sprint, but it's a marathon. So let's start with the first game on Friday night, and it's from the German Bundesliga between Dortmund and Bochum. It's a derby game in North Rhine-Westphalia, and I think that Dortmund, they will take advantage of Bochum's poor run of form, because they just conceded 5 goals before this game, and they showed a lot of defensive issues in that game against Wolfsburg and conceded 5 goals. And if you look at Dortmund, they're actually the league leaders in the Bundesliga with only 1 point above Bayern Munich. So it's a very important match for Dortmund to win this match in the title race. There's no doubt that Dortmund, they are a much stronger team. They have much better quality. They have so many good players like Jude Bellingham, Brandt, and Adeyemi, and you name it. They have so good qualities, especially in the attacking part of the game. I cannot say the same about Dortmund, with Bochum, because they're struggling at the bottom of the league. And I think maybe it depends on the Schalke and of course Stuttgart in this weekend. They could end in a relegation zone if the other teams wins and the Dortmund, they lose against Dortmund. I think this is, in normal circumstances, Dortmund should win this match easily at home. So my prediction, based on Dortmund's recent results, but also the title race, they could win the Bundesliga title for the first time in almost 11 years. So I'm going to predict Dortmund to cover the Asian handicap line minus 1.5. It means they have to win the game with 2 goals at least. The second prediction is from Bloomfield Road in Championship between Blackpool and Millwall. Yeah, Millwall, they were sitting in the playoff zones for months. But in the last 5 matches, they have only collected 4 points, and it means they are actually out of the playoff zone at the moment. But with 2 games left of the season, they could still manage to come into the top 6, and it requires a win against Blackpool in this match, who also are struggling at the bottom of the league for surviving in the championship. So both the bottom of the championship, but also the playoff spots, they are wide open with 2 games left. Blackpool, they can still survive the championship, but it requires they collect some points in the last 2 matches. But for Millwall, it's a must win here, and also in the last game at home before the season ends in the championship. I think there's a reason for why Millwall have been in top 6 during the whole season, and why Blackpool have been in the bottom of the league. And it's simply because that Millwall have the better players, while Blackpool, they maybe doesn't have the same quality since the promotion to the championship. So for me, if you also look at the odds, it's almost 2.20 for Millwall win. So I think backing Millwall, it make good sense in this match. Our first prediction on Saturday is from the early Premier League game between Crystal Palace and West Ham at the South West London at Selhurst Park. I actually think it will be a very tight game between Palace and West Ham. Both of the sides are in a good run of form with 10 points from their last 5 matches. And I hope both of the sides will survive relegation this season. Crystal Palace, they just hired Roy Hodgson as the new manager, and I actually think it was the best thing that they did in sacking Patrick Vieira, because with them they have already collected 10 points, and it means they have 37 points at the moment. And normally in the Premier League, if you have 40 points, it means that you will survive and get a new season. For West Ham, they have 34 points at the moment, but they have 7 games left of the season. And they will also face teams like Manchester City, United, and also Liverpool. So it's actually a very more important match for West Ham at the moment, because in this match, if they take 3 points, they will get into the next 3 matches in a more relaxed way. Also, they have to play in the Conference League against AZ Alkmaar. So I think it's more important for West Ham to get 3 points from this match compared to Crystal Palace. But again, I think that both sides are very similar, but West Ham have more quality players. But again, most of the people, including myself, expected more from West Ham this season, and they should battle for European spots. But again, if they end mid-table after this season and ending by winning the European Conference League, it will be a fantastic season for West Ham, and of course, most probably they will sign a new contract with David Moyes. I'm predicting that West Ham will win this match at Selhurst Park, but I'm backing them with the Asian handicap +0. It means if the games end in a draw, we will get our stakes returned. Our second game on Saturday is from Portman Road in League One between Ipswich and Exeter. It's 2 different teams because at the moment, 3 teams, they are battling for the automatic promotions to Championship. It's Plymouth, Sheffield Wednesday, and of course Ipswich. But if Ipswich win on Saturday against Exeter, they will secure a promotion back to the Championship where they belong. Because teams like Ipswich, Sheffield Wednesday, they belong to the Championship, and I hope at the end of the season, both of them will be back in the Championship. The away team, Exeter, they have nothing to play for in this match. They're coming into this game with 5 defeats in a row. And with 2 games left of the season, I don't expect that any of the players will have enough motivation for such a game against a strong team like Ipswich. Because Ipswich, they have, in the last 10 matches, they have won 9 of them and have 1 draw and have 0 defeats. But also, if you look at the goal score, they have 28 goals and only conceded twice in the last 10 matches. Also, their home record at Portman Road is incredible. They have won their last 5 matches and only conceded 1 goal. So it's very easy for me to say that Ipswich also are going to win this match and secure the promotion back to the Championship. So my prediction in this game is that Ipswich will cover the Asian handicap line -2. It means that Ipswich have to win the game with 3 goals or more, and we will get our stakes returned if they only win with 2 goals. Our first prediction on Sunday is from Old Trafford between Manchester United and Aston Villa. There's no doubt for me who is in best form and who is playing best at the moment. It should be Aston Villa, because since Unai Emery he arrived to Villa Park, things have turned around in a very positive direction for Aston Villa. They have been perfect, and they actually think they have 6 wins and 1 draw in their last 7 games. So they are just perfect and brilliant at the moment. Also, if you look at the game plan from Unai Emery and how the players, they just follow his game plan from game to game and how disciplined side they are, there is no doubt that Unai Emery, he will make big things at Aston Villa also from next season. They are still in a battle for the European spots, but 5 points behind Manchester United on the Champions League spot. So I don't think it's realistic for Aston Villa to end in top 4. But top 6 will be amazing for Aston Villa. And hopefully they can make big things in European football from next season with Unai Emery. Manchester United, they are number 4 at the moment in the Premier League standings. Again, they're in a good run of form with 4 wins from the last 5 Premier League matches. But if you have followed them in the last couple of matches against Sevilla, where they lost 3-0, it was not impressive. I think they was very bad in that match. But also against Brighton in the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. By the way, I also watched the game from the stands live, so it was an amazing match. But again, I was not impressed by Manchester United. So if you compare Manchester United, their most recent matches, and Aston Villa, their most recent matches, I think that the Aston Villa players are in much better shape. The odds are a bit high for me on Aston Villa. So in this match, I'm going to back Aston Villa not to lose the game at Old Trafford. I think there's a good value backing Aston Villa not to lose, because again, if you compare player by player, there's no doubt that the United players, if you look at the paper, have the better players. But actually how they perform and about the discipline at both sides, how they follow the manager's game plan, I percent more on Aston Villa in this match, because I think the discipline is very important in such important games. So Aston Villa not to lose the game is my prediction from Old Trafford. What a football lesson from Newcastle on Sunday against Spurs, where they was up with 5 goals after 21 minutes and they ended winning the game by 6-1 against Tottenham. Incredible. It was just amazing, all of the players. And again, it's not, you have to expect that from Newcastle, because they have been in fantastic form during the whole season. They are the lowest conceding side, and also they are just going into all of the matches with a very high standards, but also high discipline line, of course, from the manager Eddie Howe, because he has been superb at Newcastle. And imagine after in the summer transfer window, if you just sign a few new players, they only have a budget of 30 million pounds because of the financial rules from UEFA. But they have not spent that much money in these transfer windows. I think the only expensive player is Alexander Isak. So I think with 30 millions and what they have showed on the transfer market so far, signing good defenders from Burnley and similar teams, they have done a brilliant job so far this season. This time they will welcome Southampton to Newcastle, and I feel bad for Southampton, because Southampton could easily concede 4 or 5 goals in a game like this. They have not the best defenders in the league, and that's also why they are bottom of the league, 5 points from the safety. And I don't think that they can survive another season in the Premier League. I think they will get relegated to the Championship. If you look at the odds, Newcastle to cover the Asian handicap line minus 1.5, I think the price is incredible and contains a huge value for Newcastle winning this game with 2 or more goals. As I said, they have the best players. They are the lowest conceding side. They have a very high stability in each match and a very high discipline line on the players. The players know exactly how to play and in which areas they have to move into when they have the ball, without the ball. And yeah, I only imagine and expecting big things from Newcastle from the next season, and also of course in the Champions League. I'm sure that Newcastle will win within the top 4, and this is the first game out of the last 6 or 7 games, and I think they will win this match in an easy way, very comfortable at least. So I'm gonna backing them to cover the Asian handicap line minus 1.5. Our last prediction in this video is from Anfield Road, where Liverpool takes on Tottenham on Sunday. Yeah, I think it's over for Tottenham, because after the summer, most probably Hurricane and Son will leave the club, and then I think it's over for Tottenham to end in the top 4 and Champions League seasons for years. I don't think that they have the budget to sign better players than Hurricane, who is among the best strikers in the world, but also classy players like Son should also leave the club if they want to win anything during the career. This time they will travel to Anfield Road against a team who finally find a better form if you compare to the other parts of the season. And after such a bad performance against Newcastle, where they conceded 6 goals, it's not the best time to face a time like Liverpool, who, if they just find an early goal in the match, just continues scoring goals in the 90 minutes. We just saw it against Manchester United a few weeks ago, but also against Leeds in the last week, where they scored 6 goals. Just like the Newcastle and Southampton prediction, I predict something similar in this match. I actually think that Liverpool will smash Cheltenham, and it could be 4, 5, 6 goals because I don't think that the motivation spirits are high at the Spurs players at the moment. They are without a manager at the moment. They also just sacked the interim manager after Antonio Conte left the club. So they are coming into this match without any manager, conceding 6 goals. They are out of the top 4 race. Perhaps also the top 6 could be over. They could end in 7 or 8 at the end of the season. So I think it will be an easy match for Liverpool, especially if they find an early goal in the match. It could end up with 4-5 or 6-0 for Liverpool in this match. Because as I mentioned, most of the players are back for Liverpool, back from injuries. And I think they have started performing well in the last couple of matches. And it could also be good for the fans, for the players, but also for Jurgen Klopp to end the season in top 6. It should be possible. I think it's too late for the Champions League spot, the top 4. But if they end the season in top 6, it will be a great season still for Liverpool, I think. So in this match, I'm going to predict that Liverpool will cover the Asian handicap line minus 1.5. It means that Liverpool must have to win the game with 2 goals or more. And it should happen against a team where the spirits, the motivation, moral, everything is at the bottom. It should be easy for Liverpool. Thank you for watching the video, and don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel, but you can also find more predictions and stats on our website, stats24.com, or just download the app from the stores. We have 7 predictions in this video, and remember, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, only bet on single matches. So hopefully we will win at least 4 or 5 of the predictions in this video, and we can make a good profit in this weekend. Thank you.